Hey there and welcome. I am so excited. Church Media Connection is partnering with my friend Corey Nolan, who is an amazing worship leader, and we're going to be offering you right now a free worship training webinar. And we're going to pick this man's brain. He has led worship for over 25 years. He's one of the greatest musicians that I know, and you're going to enjoy it. So Corey, tell us, partnering with Church Media Connection, what can we expect in this webinar if we tune in?
Well, some of the things we like to talk about are the practical aspects of building a service, running a service, and managing a team, picking songs. We may talk about what you do when you just don't feel like
leading,
and yet that's the perfect time to pull from within yourself, to engage into prayer, maybe to even engage in fasting, and push through and see what God will do from it. It's that genuine point of vulnerability. Sometimes it can be the most powerful thing we do in worship.
What about song selection? Have you ever been stumped like what songs to select? Are you talk
absolutely.
A little bit about that?
Absolutely. We're going to talk about that, all the sorts of different resources. There's websites, there's things in databases, there's all sorts of ways you can search and find those different kinds of tunes and then build up your repertoire of songs so that you have that database always growing.
And then building teams. Have you ever been stumped building your team and you don't have a guitar player, you don't have a drummer, but you got to worship?
That's
Sunday's
right.
Still coming.
And there's so many ways to manage that. Sometimes we manage it by less is more if we can't fill those places. But we're going to talk about different ways to resource and find those musicians in your community. Even sometimes there are musicians I found personally sitting in the congregation that haven't been engaged properly yet, who are phenomenal at what they're doing, and this is what they're called and designed to do. We'll talk about that.
In this live webinar, you can literally get on our chat box during the session, type in a question, and Corey, you'll answer that question
to the best
of your ability.
Best of my ability, yes.
We'll address some of those things right there live if you'll join us on this webinar. This free training is for pastors, for worship leaders, for anyone on your staff who's involved in building that worship service. We want to take your worship service to the next level. So if you're a worship pastor or you're a pastor and you need some help in your worship service, make sure you're there. If you know a worship leader, send this to them, get them registered for this free training. They're going to thank you for that. All you have to do is register by clicking that registration button right there on the page. We'll reserve your spot and we will see you at our live training webinar. We hope you'll register right now and we'll see you on the inside. Thanks, Corey.
You're welcome.